Greetings, everybody. I'm Jay Jackson, founder of Fathers Against Street Tragedy. And I'm taking this long drive through Malibu, California right now. But I kind of just wanted to weigh in on America, weigh in on Baltimore, weigh in on police brutality in our black neighborhoods. First off, as people have said time and time again, police have been brutalizing us for a very long time. They have been putting on this uniform and feeling like they can do anything to us and no one would ever say anything. And it's almost true until now. Till now that we're faced with young men losing their lives and not even having a weapon in their hand. Now America wants to pay attention. I don't condone the violence, but I do agree with protests, nonviolent protests in America, because we only got one voice and we got to use that voice all together. In my organization, Fathers Against Street Tragedy, I'm about talking to kids and directing them away from drugs, gangs, guns, violence, and also not only about being a father for them, because most kids don't have a father figure, but teaching them how to be a father for their own kids. Because if we keep going the rate that we're going in America, we're not going to have any fathers for the kids that are here now. And you may say that you don't agree with that, but I do. Because in my life, I'm from a little place in Florida. It's called Bradenton. It's near Tampa. In my city alone, we was losing 20, 30 people a year. Most of them young men. Now that I live in Los Angeles, California, it's probably triple that, maybe quadruple. But a lot of times I don't hear this stuff because I'm not from here. You see what I'm saying? But my thing with police brutality is very wrong. There's no reason to shoot a black man. You're not shooting these white kids. You're not shooting these white men, nor women, because it's not just men, young men. It's young women also that are getting killed. And you take a different approach with that race, and that there is discrimination, just like anything that went on in the Martin Luther King era, before segregation era. This world, or shall I say, this country is built on slavery. This country is built on taking other people's lives, you know. And we've dealt with this many years. In the 60s, people were just powerless to this. There was nothing they can do. But now we do have a voice. We do have stronger black men. We do have stronger black women, you know. So it's time that we take a stance and stop this. Someone needs to be the bigger person, whether you're white, black, blue, green. But this has to stop. I love my black president, but there's nothing that he could do, so to speak, because as soon as he takes our side as black men, as African American people, then they're against him like he did something wrong. But he's also African American, so is his children, so is his wife, so is his family. So He can't do what he wants to do. And that's just being a president. When he get out of office, maybe so. But right now, it's very bad. And if we don't get a grip on this America, it's going to be more black lives gone. It's going to be more police officers' lives gone. It's going to be hell in this country. Mark my word. I look at this every day. I'm looking at Baltimore. I'm not mad with what they're doing. You don't need to tear your own neighborhood up. You don't need to tear no neighborhood up. What you need to do is peacefully protest. It may not get a lot done, but guess what? The big guy upstairs, he keeps the score. So all this is going to come back to these people who try to oppress us and try to bring us down, who try to do things to us to hurt us. I'm not saying that every police officer is bad. I know a lot of good police officers. I'm not saying every black man is bad. I know a lot of good black men. So what we have going on in this place, it's ridiculous. And I can't stress it no more than anyone else. I'm one person. What can I do? We need to wake up once again. The Bloods, the Crips, GDs, and all these gang members, they came together. And that's monumental right there. They came together to make sure this does not happen, to try to stir people away from this happening in Baltimore. The media or whoever took that and turned it around, saying that they wanted to kill police officers. Now that was Baltimore. All the way here in Los Angeles, California, the police are scared. The police at the airport, they're too deep riding in cars. Los Angeles Police Department got what they call a blue alert. And that's when you need to ride with 2 police officers. At least 2 police officers. I drive all day long past young black men and women pulled over to the side of the road and pulled out of their cars, some laying on the road, some up against the fence. It does not take all that, because what you do is when you're pulling these African Americans, you're pulling them out their car to make it seem like you're doing so much, and you're not. Chief Beck, it's your men. LAPD, I see you all the time. And it's disturbing. Because they pulled me one time with that. I tell you, no, you can't search my car. So you tell me I have an air freshener hanging around my mirror. That's against the law. So I can write you a ticket for the air freshener, or I can search your car. Well, I'd rather take the ticket for the air freshener. And I ain't got nothing in my car for you to search. So just give me the ticket for the air freshener. If you're not detaining me, let me go. But that's what they do. You can't provoke these people. You can't give these people a reason for you to be that unarmed black man or that unarmed black young lady. You can't get them a reason, because they're always looking for that to do something to you. Interesting point. I love my people, but we got to do better. We got to stop tearing up our own city, because of what they done. March, protest, use your voice. Make them understand you. They give you a curfew. It's to control you. And you only have a curfew because you put yourself in that position to where they feel that that is what is necessary to keep you from doing these bad things to them. But once again, we got to do better. I might be rambling a little bit, but it's the truth. I'm not from Baltimore. I've never been to Baltimore. But I'm going to tell you, I understand where you're coming from. I understand MIKEBROWN. I understand TRAVONMARTIN. I understand these black men who have lost their lives and these young ladies who have lost their lives to police brutality. I understand it. And that in itself is a universal language. It's not hard to understand that. So, to Chief Beck in Los Angeles County, and to other police department chiefs, to other sheriffs, deputies, officers, highway patrols, what can you do? You know, my biggest question in this whole thing about killing an unarmed black man, what happened to those tasers that I paid for? I'd much rather you tase somebody and subdue them than just pull your pistol out and shoot them. It don't make sense. That's what we bought the tasers for. You don't use them on the white man. You don't use them on the black man. What are we buying this for? I really want to know that. What happened to the tasers? And why are they not being used? It's simple, people. Officer, it's simple. If you can't fight, or if you're scared, you don't need to be a police officer. Because even I, who's not in law enforcement at all, I've had to fight. I've had to use these. I didn't have to pick up a gun. I'm going to win some and I'm going to lose some. But never have I took a life. And I've been in situations where I had to fight more than one person. You know? You may not understand that. But you need to learn how to fight. You need to learn how to defend yourself, Mr. Officer. I'm talking to you. Because if you're scared of a black man without a gun, if you're scared of a black man who has nothing in his hands, if you're scared of a black man that has his hands up, then you don't need to be an officer. You don't need to represent this company, this country. Nor do I need to be paying you as a taxpayer to protect us. Because you can't protect yourself. I know it hurted you guys. And once again, I'm not condoning this. But I know it hurted you guys to have those rocks thrown at you. And you couldn't pull your gun out and shoot one of us. Shoot one of those kids. That's a big pain. I know it was. But in this world, you're going to have some good days and you're going to have some bad days. And that was just a bad day. You know how many of those we have in the black community? A lot of them. Once again, I'm Jay Jackson, the founder of Fathers Against Street Tragedy. I don't condone this madness. I don't. But at some point, Mr. Officer, we got to stop this. Let's use that taser. What happened to the billy club? I mean, God. You have a billy club, you have a nightstick on you. What happened to that? He's unarmed. You can't take a man down with a nightstick. You can't call for backup and two of y'all can wrestle him down like y'all used to doing. When is it gonna stop? When is it gonna stop, Mr. Officer? To my people, let's get like the Mexicans. Let's get like the white people. Let's get like every other race that sticks together and do the right thing. If we can stop hurting one another and stand up and help one another, we can have so much more in this country and other countries. We can have so much more if we just stop holding each other down. We can. So, it's hard out here. Just the general fact of living, it's very hard. And that's because we go to prisons, we undereducated, and nobody's helping us. Nobody's helping us when we get out of prisons. Nobody's saying, here's a $60,000 job a year. So I understand why black men, why we go back out and we get right back in trouble, or go back to the same thing that we left, because there's nothing for us to gain. They don't want to give us nothing, people. So we got to take that by getting an education, by getting out of this prison and doing something positive, even taking that time that you are in prison, taking that time to grow your mind, taking that time to figure out what are you going to do different when you get out. What's going to set you apart? What's going to be better for you? Because everything else you did, it's not working. It's not working. Because we're getting ourselves back in these same positions that we left. I'm not mad at nobody. I don't want nobody to think that, you know. I just want what's best for all of us. Whether you're a police officer, probation officer, a security officer, whether you're black, whether you're a man, whether you're a woman, whether you're a kid, or an adult, for that fact. Whatever color you are, whatever creed you are, whatever nationality you are, at some point, we got to stop giving each other a reason to do these things to each other. Because I don't want another black man killed. I don't want another police officer killed. I don't want someone else's child, because we all have parents, getting killed in the line of duty. And when I say in the line of duty, I'm not just talking about a police officer. I'm just talking about in the line of duty, living your life. Brothers and sisters, police officers, I'm with you when you're right. But when you're wrong, you're dead wrong. I just want the best in life for our kids. And that's what Fathers Against Street Tragedy is about. It's about being better parents, being better kids, raising our kids better. You know, there's a lot of fathers that aren't here to help us. A lot of fathers that aren't here to say, let me lend a helping hand to someone else's kid so they won't have to go through the things that they went through. As a kid whose father was not there, I know how that is. So there's a lot of black men in these streets that are there because they don't know what else to do. They don't have anybody else to help them. They don't have anybody else to say, let's do something different. Let me teach you how to be a carpenter. Let me teach you how to be a musician. You know, our only escape as a one parent kid is, to most people, is to go out and grab a microphone and rap. And there's nothing wrong with that, because that's talent. And I get that. And I support that. And I want people to exercise the talents that they have. If that's the talent you got and that's what you got to work with it. Because they ain't gonna give us much more than that. So you have to continue to work with what you got. Give life what you got. And mothers, mothers, you got to be responsible too. Because a lot of us have been ran away from our fathers because of what you and that father had. What relationship you guys had, to the point that you hate him so much till you tell your kids bad things about him. And then you push them away. You push the dads away. It happened to me. You know, our kids don't have the greatest relationships with us because sometimes we get that strain of relationship with them because of what the mother and the father went through. See, we still got to be there because we're the parents. He still got to be there because that's his blood. Because I'm going to tell you something. I never wanted to be the kid that when I went off and I got famous or I had a whole bunch of money, my dad pop out of nowhere. And even if it wasn't his fault, I'm going to be upset. Because I'm going to be asking, where the hell were you all these years? So, mothers, we gotta play our position too in these young kids' lives out here. So we don't have our children out there throwing rocks at the police. So you don't have to be that mother that got to see her kid on TV and go to the scene of where all this is going on and embarrass him by putting your hands on him. Because that's what it's going to be. And my last message to young men, you know, right now I'm in Malibu, California, headed to Santa Barbara. I've been some places in my life that half of you guys will never ever see. And that's because can't be so afraid to try new things in life. You can't be so afraid to not explore life to better your situation, because sometimes you got to leave where you're at to go over here and better yourself. Now, if you choose to come back, that's one thing. But if you better yourself and your situation is better, you living a better life, then you're where you need to be at. One thing about me, I always had the ability to just go and be free. Just do what I want to do. There's just no limit to that. And just like this water, it's endless. I see nothing in sight but water. That's your future. There's nothing in sight stopping you from being a better person, from being able to accomplish whatever you want to accomplish in life. Whether you want to be Michael Jordan, whether you want to be T.I., whether you want to be Rick Ross, whether you want to be President Obama, whether you want to be Jesse Jackson, Reverend Al Sharpton. It's all out here for you. It's all out here for you. There's nothing to stop you. Nothing. Look at it. It's just nothing out there. But you got to take control of your own destiny, young men and young women. But young men especially, because we got to keep this thing going. We got to make this better for our daughters, for our sons. Because we're going to need some daddies out here, man. We're going to need some daddies, for real. We're going to need some daddies. Because there's too many young black men getting killed. There's too many young black men that are not going to be here when some of these kids grow into an adult. Their father won't be here. Most of them dad will be dead because he got killed. And it ain't just the police killing us. We killing each other too. So, man, I'm out here. My name is Jay Jackson once again. Fathers Against Street Tragedy. You can find me on LinkedIn under James Jackson, Jaymes Jackson. Fathers Against Street Tragedy. You can donate on GoFundMe to a good cause if you choose to. No pressure though. Because if a person donate to my foundation or not, it's still going to be a foundation. Do good, my people. Young brother, let's stop throwing rocks and let's pick them up and build something. How about that? Let's build something out of those rocks that we're throwing. Not just the rocks that we're throwing at the police, but the rocks that we're throwing in life. The rocks that we're throwing at the chain gang. Pick those rocks up and let's make something out of that. Let's make a solid foundation. Let's build on it. Let's put a roof on it. And let's live. Because if you don't build a foundation, if you don't build a wall, if you don't put a roof on it, they're just going to blow it down. They're going to blow it down every time. That's all I'm saying. Stop throwing rocks at the chain gang. Stop throwing rocks at these police officers. Build something with those rocks. If you don't learn nothing for anything I just said, build something with those rocks. And I'm out. Fathers Against Street Tragedy. Don't forget it.